Hi, thanks for taking the time to speak with us today. I'm your customer service representative for Christianity. My name is John. Very original. So, what can I help you with today? You'd like to stop believing in the existence of God. Okay, I have hold up, let me pull out the manual for that. Okay. All right. Well, I would like to thank you. Let me just go over some of the terms and conditions. One, you are going to go to hell for all of eternity. Are you sure you'd like to continue? You don't think it's real. Okay. Well, have you tried considering that the universe is really complicated and I don't get it? Okay. Um, well, what about the fact that the prime mover needs a prime mover? You can't have the first cause without the cause before it. That doesn't make sense. I mean, like if you have a series of dominoes, right? You need that first person to push over the domino. Is this helping you today? Okay. Oh, but we don't even know that the universe had a beginning per se, and the Big Bang is just something that we can't observe, and observing beyond the Big Bang is trying to push beyond what we can materially and physically actually observe, and so it's kind of meaningless to postulate what's beyond that, as if this sort of idea of causation requires there to be a Christian God that exists who created his son who went into the Middle East 2,000 years ago. Okay, I do see that you're considering other vendors. And just before we sign here and remove you from existence eternally based off of our position, would like to go over some other clauses and conditions. You do admit that if Jesus had in fact arisen from the dead, that you would be basically indebted to believe in him and give your entire life to him as he would be God. Okay. And yes, of course, the original ideas of Christianity didn't come until decades after Jesus had allegedly, arisen from the dead, and many stories were written down and spoken about in different ways before that, and also there are several dozens of different gospels that were discarded and chosen arbitrarily at the time historically. Okay, and you do realize that there are no third-party Testament accounts of the resurrection. Okay, good. Okay. Okay. Well, I am sorry to see you go. I hope you do consider resubscribing to Christianity. Salvation as a service is what we offer. Please know that you now have no moral frameworks, so I'm sure without our services, you go around murdering people as you please. What's that? You didn't need to pay for Christianity to not murder people? Okay. Well, our customers typically say that if it weren't for our services, they would be doing all sorts of horrendous things. So I guess, lucky you, you're able to find that out. So I do also have here that it was a lifelong contract. Now, looks like you particular contract was in... Okay. Okay, generic Christianity. So you should be good to go. You've obviously severed some ties with the more radical customers of ours, some going to the deluxe ultra Baptist packages. They might have to sever ties with you based off of their terms and agreements. But it looks like those in your district work primarily, and also the generic didn't matter so much package of Christianity, so you should be able to more or less so be friends with them. It's fortunate. I had just gone off and ending another customer's contract who was with the Jehovah's Witness package, and whew, man, those are some tough T's and C's. Let me tell you that. Oh, man. Well, anyway, don't tell the boss that I'm telling you about. This is considered inside information. And then I'm required to say this because it's my job. But before I let you go, I can give you a bonus offer, and that is you will be able to basically act haughty and better than everyone else with Christianity, and think that you're justified in that you have an answer to everything. And you would never be comfortable with not having an answer to anything. Is that okay with you? Are you sure you'd like to lose this feature? Okay. And I would also like to, we do have just one last, try and grab you before you go. If you get rid of Christianity again, like I mentioned at the beginning, you will be damned into hell for all of eternity. Is that okay with you? Okay. It seems like you don't think it's real. Well, sorry, I was just required to read that. Obviously, all of these terms and conditions are just fear tactics used by marketing and sales tactics in a similar way to get you to sign a contract end of month, similarly to get you to sign a contract end of life. I'm definitely sure I'll be seeing you at your deathbed right before you die, holding your hands and trying to resubscribe to us. But hey, you already committed the mortal sin of rejecting the Holy Spirit, so you will never be able to accept Jesus into your heart. Probably the Calvinists are right on that one. We're having some internal corporate discussions about how we're going to present that to the customer. But what's that? Oh, you would like to consider. You just want to know which one? Okay, yeah. So, so as a representative of Christianity, I will tell you what has been. Let me just give you what they've told me, right? So I have to give you, the generic marketing version, which is you have Jesus, subscription as a service, and then obviously the 10 Commandments you have to follow. That will, of course, as part of the package, basically entice you to live a morally better life. But this is just, off the letter for me. Obviously, the Jesus package, he did live in poverty, gave everything that he could, and washed the feet of, fellow whores and sinners alike. But that's just on paper. Really, most of our clients, particularly in the Americas regions, prefer to use us to justify anti-immigration policies and also things that harm the lives of women. So feel free to, use Christianity as sort of a flexible stick to do away with things you dislike. So let me just remind you that with whatever package you go with, that should be your option available towards yourself. Now, in terms of what is the best option, well, obviously there's some people who say that since we came originally from this sort of Christian starter pack in the zeros, there have been a original sort of Catholicism branches and Orthodox branches. Those two are technically our sister companies, but we did have sort of a realignment, restructuring 500 or so years ago. We're definitely the true one and the right one. And as competitors, although they're technically sister companies to us, we do hate them. Everything they stand for, they're idolaters, and all going to burn in hell. They do not have a proper salvation. So as much as I'd like to offer you a different package, I would say that they're all wrong. Obviously, you have to go with one of our Christianity packages, which is all the same. We do think that God is three people as part of the subscription pack. That is for most of the parts, unless you go with the Unitarian or Mormon or Jehovah's Witness or some of the other branches that we have. But it's pretty much just small details. There's nothing really different. Some of the other packages that you might be able to enjoy is the Lord's Supper part, which is just a symbol to reaffirm your package subscription. We will be doing that every week or every month. Or actually, it's not just a symbol; it's real. But we're not cannibalism. Don't worry about that. That's a whole other company. Okay, we're nothing like that. Obviously, as you know us for salvation as a service, right? You get a permanent imaginary friend, and of course, there is the afterlife package that everybody knows us for. Our model is based off of human sacrifice, but don't be alarmed. It's cool. It replaces all of the other stuff. I could get you a technical expert. He can explain you how it works. But so I understand you called in today to cancel your subscription, but it sounds like you still want to go on and move forward. So great. So which package would you like to move forward with now that we've gotten to this point? Thank you again. Mormonism?